Obviously, the semifinals are tonight for the ACC Tournament. Virginia and Miami, the first game. Duke Clemson, the second game. We're going to bring in Nick Carboni, talking about, obviously, the semifinal matchups that we are seeing and the cool connection that the UVA coach has here to Charlotte. Nick?
Hey, what's up, Colin? Yeah, in the arena a bit early. We're done with the all-day games and the quarterfinals and first and second rounds. Semifinals tonight, and it's cool. It's kind of old school, old-ish school ACC, Miami, and then you've got the bona fides, Virginia, Duke, and Clemson. So it's kind of a throwback feel here in Charlotte. Second year in a row we've hosted it. But yes, Virginia coach Ryan Odom, he has a great history in this building. He coached at Maryland-Baltimore County 6 or 7 years ago, otherwise known as UMBC. Until they did it, no 16 seed had ever beat a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. We were all waiting for it year after year to happen. We were wondering if it ever would. They pulled it off in this building with Ryan Odom as their head coach. And who did they do it against? The team he coaches now, Virginia. He's had a great first year after a couple of stints elsewhere, including Virginia Commonwealth. He was also a former Charlotte 49ers interim coach who was not retained, much to a lot of 49ers fans' chagrin. But that is a cool connection. Tonight he coaches well in this building, won a game here, non-conference game here in December as well.
Some interesting stuff, man. I love that. Let's talk about the next thing. Miami coach. And he had an interesting kind of background. He was with Duke at one point, an assistant coach. Talk about, that connection as well. It's very interesting.
Yeah, Jay Lucas, I mean, he's obviously proven to be a really good hire for the Hurricanes. His focus at Duke was on the defensive side of the ball, and he parlayed that into a head coaching job at Miami, who has had success under coaches like Jim Larinaga. And he's got the Hurricanes, in a very quick amount of time here in the ACC semifinals. They are one to watch in this tournament, and I think they're one to watch in the NCAA tournament as well. They're the 3 seed here. They kind of get overshadowed by the Dukes, the Virginias, Carolina, even though they're out of it. But Miami is definitely a team to look out for with Jay Lucas as the coach.
All right, and what a game it was. North Carolina did not obviously pull it out. Duke did survive. What a close game that was. An interesting spectacle. What kind of things did you take away from that game?
Yeah, listen, I mean, I think a lot of people here with the ACC would have loved Carolina-Duke tonight in a semifinal game. We saw what it looked like last year. We've seen what it looked like before when Zion Williamson was on Duke and that raucous atmosphere 6 or 7 years ago. And we were basically a point away in each game from that happening or neither of them getting in. We'll start with Duke because they were the first game of the 2 last night. They survived a Florida State team. Duke without 2 starters, Caleb Foster and Patrick Ngongba. I think that affected them, especially Foster, their point guard from Harrisburg, North Carolina, just up the road. They hadn't played without him all year until last night. And as your veteran point guard, that is going to make a difference. But Florida State, man, I'll tell you, if they had a little bit better of a start to the season, they would absolutely be on the bubble, perhaps heading into the national tournament after last night. But they just got it done too late. But they came into this thing hot. They had something to prove. They did so. They had a chance at the end, but Duke was able to hold on for a 1-point win. And then after that, Carolina was down 18 to the Clemson Tigers, who were also banged up and had issues late this season, including against Carolina and Chapel Hill. Carolina beat them, but they were up 18 last night. They were up 15 points with 3.5 minutes to go, and finally Carolina said, let's get tough. Let's start making some threes. They took that 15-point lead with 3.5 minutes to go, got it down to 1, and had a possession off a missed free throw and a final shot, and that did not go in. So Carolina out of the ACC tournament. They'll be in the NCAA tournament next week, probably as a 5 or 6 seed, having to face a 12 or 11. We know how many upsets happen in those matchups. But Hubert Davis, he talked to his team all week about, playing with that mentality the whole game. They had it for the last 3 or 4 minutes, but in the tournament, they're going to have to do it the whole game, and they're going to have to do it without their star freshman, Caleb Wilson. And he's a stud. He's a top 3 pick in the draft, their leading scorer, leading rebounder. He has that kind of dog mentality. They're not going to have him, so they've got to find a way to rally around each other.
And you touched on this, man. The old school type of semifinals of the ACC is back. The old blue bloods, as you might say, of college basketball with Duke and Clemson. And Virginia really has had an outstanding year from the football field all the way to the basketball court now. Obviously, Miami, the same thing. What are you looking for tonight for both of these games?
Yeah, and Duke trying to win the ACC football and basketball championships within a relatively short amount of time in the same academic year here. But yeah, it is kind of a throwback. I mean, you know, with all the conference realignment, we see matchups here like Cal and Stanford and SMU and all these new schools coming in, and they've provided some great moments, and they've had championship moments and been in championship games in several sports. But, you know, to see that it's Miami, Virginia, and of course Miami came to the ACC from the Big East about 25 years ago, but Virginia's been in the ACC for years. Obviously Duke and obviously Clemson. It is kind of that throwback, which, you know, we try to hold on to those nostalgic things as much as possible in college sports these days because they are just fading away and eroding as the sport changes and the landscape changes. But it is kind of cool to see that in this building this weekend, and we'll see who ends up in the final.
Love it. All right, man. We will be looking for more tonight at 5, 6, and 11, and obviously be tuned in to both semifinal games. Thanks, Nick.
Absolutely, Colin. Thank you.